All right. Hello, everybody. I had to remember. I was talking today to some of the people, and we do this once a month for 11 months, and maybe we should do it more often because I get here early, a couple hours before we begin, and I never remember. I had to reprint my buttons and all the things I have to do. I always forget the system. I got to turn on the mixer, and oh my gosh. But anyways, thank you for joining us. I'm happy to be here. This is our final arts night of the year. However, it's not our final event of the year. I'll talk about that a little later. Hopefully, let me add it to my notes. I think it's already on here though. This is the Nervous Ghost Press open mic. It's part of Arts Night, and which is pretty cool. Arts Night is the last Saturday of every month except for December and November. We kind of move it. We don't do November, and then we have the second week ish of December to knock out the year. Arts Night is in person. If you show up in person, we can paint. We have hot chocolate today. Went out and got one of those electric pot things, which is kind of cool. It gets super hot, like really quickly, and I don't know how it does it. It's like magic. Freaks me out. I don't know if it's healthy, but it's weird and it works and it's awesome. So we have hot chocolate today, muffins, all the other fun stuff, and you can paint, draw, make music when we get here earlier. You can rehearse, you can practice. It's just an open space for the arts for whoever you are, wherever you are. And then, of course, we have our online and our virtual component for people from all across the world to join. So we want to be as accessible and open for as many people as possible because that's what it's all about. At one point, we were all virtual, and then at one point, we were all in person, and it just I don't know. There's something was not right in my heart, and so we brought back both. I'm excited to end the year. If everybody who performs today, if you're listening and paying attention, then I was gonna have a segment, and I was gonna make this cool graphic to pop up on YouTube, and then I don't know how to animate, and I didn't want to learn how to do it. I made the scene transition thing a couple years ago, and that took too many days, and I wasn't about to do it again. But I wanted to have like an FU 2025 segment, and we can read our poem and then be like, "Oh, fuck you, 2025. Fuck you, stubbing my toe on that one day before school." I don't know, whatever it was. I thought it would be hilarious. So, if you have something to FU 2025, share it. Also, there is the thank you 2025 for all the good stuff. There were a lot of good things in 2025, but it's not as catchy. And we gotta stick with what's catchy. We are performers, as they say. So Nervous Ghost Press, we are a 501c3 arts advocacy organization, and my mission, the big mission of the press, the big mission of everybody, is making arts accessible to those who need it when they need it, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are. And so what that looks like is books, events, open mics, arts nights, coming here and working on the computers, me teaching you how to design and format books if you want to learn how to do that, practicing being a guest MC, just being out there, getting your voice into the world because we all have a powerful voice. We all have a strong voice. And I think that they are all important enough to share. And we should have confidence and conviction in our voices and who we are and what we stand for. And so the best way to stay in touch with us, because I wrote on my note, always show connect scene, which is this. Check it out. And that was that cool animation thing I showed you. I don't remember how I did it, but it's pretty cool. So connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X, Blue Sky, which I don't know how to use, but I have one. Facebook and YouTube, and I don't know how to use any of these. I'm really not good. If you send a message, I try to look every once in a while, but sometimes the messages go to like a different area, and I don't notice, and I look at it later on, and I don't feel stupid these days, but it just makes me feel dumb, right? At least like it's just like, gosh, it's like it seems so it seems so simple. Yeah, exactly. And so connect with us, say hello, show up in person, email me. I always reply. Email me again if I don't, but I always see it. I'm looking at it all the time. Just email me and bug me, and I'll reply. Just sometimes it gets too busy out here. We are here live in our community arts workspace, which is 15 miles ish east of downtown LA, and it's free to whoever wants to use it. We have gallery space. We should have a new gallery exhibit in January if everything goes according to plan, and then hopefully another one after that. But after that, it's open. So send me work. Let's get you a gallery show. If you've never had an exhibit before, I want you to have it. I want everybody to get out there and put your work up on the walls and put stickers on it, which means it's sold or someone's interested or something. I think it's really cool. We have internet, two computers that you can use, an oven so you can make lunch if you're here a lot and you're working on a new novel, or you want to record or dance or choreograph some things. It's for you. It's your space. It's the community space, and I hope everybody utilizes it more so I can have an excuse to be here and work on all the other projects I'm not supposed to be working on the computer. Right? Yeah. The people over there know what I'm talking about. And I'm excited for 2026. We have our novel and our new poetry collection and the anthology coming out, and it's been a process, but what I've decided is I would much rather take a little bit more time, get the books out, and have them be something that the authors and the community and the editors are proud of, as opposed to, hey, we made a deadline, however many months ago, we have to stick to it. I don't want to do that. And it's about the art, and it's about the voices, and so hopefully they actually come out good. No, just kidding. They'll be fine. But the editing team, they have been working really hard. I'm excited to get the production started. The design is going to be different. I have a lot of ideas, and I think they're into it. Let's see what else. Oh, December. So next week. So today, like I said, is the last arts night. Next week on Friday, we are having the last event of the year, and that is my friend Jimmy. He has a book, Zirconium Ash, which is released recently. So we're gonna have a reading here. A couple people are gonna show up in person. You are welcome to join online. We're gonna live stream it. If you want to join online and read some work, we'll have a little bit of that. I'll be reading some things. We have some other poets and writers that will be reading, which is gonna be fantastic. I was gonna make another graphic, and then I'm like, that's another. However, my thumb hurts. And when I hold the mouse, it hurts my thumb. It sounds like a weird excuse. But I was like, I'm not gonna do it, cause it'll be fine. But all right, let's see. Checking out my notes here. If you have not signed up, but you would like to, and you're watching, or text me, email me. I look at it every once in a while. I'm the community guest MC today, so it's tough, but it should be okay. Text me and say, hey, I want to read, I want to perform, I want to sing. I have some PhD classmates, and if you want to practice your dissertation, presentation, I don't know, whatever it is, this would be the perfect place. It's low stakes. Everybody's here to support us. Just stand up and present. But I think we're good. I am going to read an older poem that I wrote a couple months ago about someone close to me who died. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. In August. I haven't written anything since until yesterday, and then I'll read another one later on. Yeah, and then so everybody who is performing today, you have a couple minutes, and then you have another couple minutes. And if we have time, if you want, we can chat. It's our night. We do whatever we want. So this poem is called Heavy and Warm, 12 Years Later. Oh, and I got this new mug. My friend sent it to me. It's kind of cool. And it's right-handed, because I hold the microphone with my left hand. The other one was left-handed. Anyway. Heavy and warm, 12 years later. I'm curious about who we are before we are. Asking questions that have no answers, no conclusions, waiting to be saved, to be found. Profundity is too common these days, but it shouldn't be. Not everyone is a hero to their story. Some are just lost, waiting for something. Something real. Something better. Something more than the bullshit 24/7 existence filled with existential dread. You fucking know it. So what then when no one listens with their goldfish brains and whiskey dicks? What the fuck else is there out there? Pray that drunk driver kills you, because guess what? It might be you behind the wheel next time. Just one more, they say, but I'm a champ like Ali, fool. But you don't know the whole story. No one does, do they? And it's never ending. They hope it was dad, but mom beat your fucking ass. It was just a spider now. But back then, oh brother, it was a fucking megalodon-esque devil worshipping whore of a motherfucker waiting to feast on your puny fucking frame. It don't exist now, does it? Hell no. You became the thing. The scary shit. The bullshit that lies to you. What you needed to survive, but this guy saw through all of it. And asked a simple question. What do you want? What the fuck do you want? Can you answer? Are you too afraid to let yourself feel for the first time again, all over for the first time? Is it possible? There is no gold. We're all fools. We're all consumed and corroded by the rust, and the wreckage isn't filled with our memories. It's built by our faults, but isn't that the point? Isn't that why we're here? To build, to plan, to draft, and grow and walk away when we realize we left the only good thing. But good things don't save lives. They remind us of what we lost, of the ones we left behind who left us as we walked on, walking with broken legs and ingrown fucking nails, digging and tearing into flesh. Let it burn so you feel something. Let it rot so it smells, so the smell fills up the room. And you know it was you this whole time. This whole time while you were mucking up the good shit, tainting the perfectly prim taints, waiting for Prince Charming to absolutely wreak havoc over everything pristine and pure. Because fuck that guy and his fancy ass hat and shirt. It ain't about that, is it? The books are wrong. The philosophers deserve their suicides. What's real ain't in books. It's right here. And I ain't going to your funeral. I don't like a Mask of Al, but you can't. I tried. Be mad all you want. And the one person who would get it ain't here no more. Heavy and warm. My limbs are numb as they fucking can be. And still no sleep. And if by chance it does come, it's filled with nightmares and meditations cause more, and the monsters are laughing at me. But you know what they say about those who laugh, right? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get mine. Every time I cross my legs, I see him. Every time I play a tune, I see him wings. I see him cooking and drinking $7 beers / shot specials. Oh fuck yeah, fool, get your hand off it. That shit is mine. But I see you. You know I see you. My liver don't hurt yet. It's a fast track back to you, and the pianist can play whatever fucking song he wants. I'll hear what I hear note by note. My heart slows steady. I see you. Voices heavy with warm thoughts, hoping it just ain't words, but knowing without them, there's nothing left. So that was a poem, and then I'll read my other one later on. I think it has a cool title, the new one, and I also name dropped someone that's in the audience over there, which will be kind of sick. And so we're gonna have our first virtual person, and then I moved a window on my screen. We'll have a first virtual person, and then we'll get a couple in person. Go back to virtual person. I don't know. Does that sound bad? That I'm kind of. It doesn't matter. All right, to open up our evening today, someone who has been with us for a while and is becoming really, really awesome and part of our community. I'm so happy that they're with us. Alicia.
Hi. Thank y'all for having me. I've got two I'm going to read. The first one was published in Bayou Blues and Red Clay, and I this was inspired by a couple of Mardi Gras balls that I went to. And this is called Mystical Mardi Gras. On the enchanted Isle of Boogaloo, at the Fleur de Lis Grecian Gala, in the glittering world and in the glittering sky of pearled magnolias, the world went flying above a shimmering ocean of purple, green, and gold. Cajun gods entertained while the caravan played until dawn. An exiled Scottish pharaoh and silver fox professor, decorated in sequins, analyzed merits of literature and politics. A tattooed Spartan general drank hurricanes with the Amazon queen of the carnival while dining on the Creole delights of gumbo and king cake. Pilots and captains from ancient civilizations danced with vixen princesses from another galaxy. The poetic oracle, wearing iconic glasses, captured the heart and intention of the guitar god with flowing hair. Self consciousness, along with fallen crowns, were forever lost on the dance floor. Sparkling jeweled gowns and vibrantly wild costumes were a vision to behold. Cultures collectively crashing, everyone, everything exquisitely extraordinary. Magical, mystical memories made. And the next one was inspired by Val Kilmer's performance as Jim Morrison in The Doors, Isabella Adjani's performance in Possession, which is a 1981 horror movie, which is really good. And then I've done some community theater, and this was inspired by one of the last regular plays I've done on stage, which was Agnes of God. This is called Blurred Lines. Immersed in a terrifying and addictive role long before I was cast, rehearsed with precision, every movement, every thought studied. I wasn't chasing imitation. I experienced that turmoil, the defiance of a charming tragedy existing within. Unnerving, intense commitment with the intensity of a volatile essence and emotional energy, making it impossible to remain detached. Pouring myself into every moment, often exiting scenes physically drained and emotionally exposed. On stage, under the lights, the audience responds with genuine energy to these raw, intimate moments of my haunted transformation. This performance bled into my life, taking months to separate myself from the character. I summoned the spirit with an uncompromising truth, accomplishing something extraordinary. It was my most demanding and illuminating role. That voice still resides within, long after the faded applause and extinguished limelight. I carry this presence like a shadow, giving everything to that performance. I didn't perform that role. I fucking lived it. Thank you. And I'll have more later.
Thank you, Alicia. When I'm gonna do it this way each time. You and I spoke a little bit before today in our like pre-meeting thing. How do you decide what to read and what not to read?
I don't know. I'm like, I'll have like, I want to read this, and I'm like, oh no, I think I want to read this. I haven't read Mystical Mardi Gras for y'all, and I've been wanting to read that one, but then I was like, oh, I want to read this one, and then I've got another one I'm going to read later that's about an ex, and I've like started writing love poems for some reason. I figure if I can't have romance in my life, I might as well have it in my poetry.
Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, thank you, Alicia.
Thank you.
All right, now we are gonna go to. Oops, there we go. In the studio, who wants to? Anybody want to go first, or should I just read off the first name I see on my list?
Read off the first name you see.
I know who it is. It's Lewis, right? All right, everybody, welcome, Lewis.
I don't know if this works. Yeah. Where's the camera's right there. Yep. Yeah. Hi everyone, my name is Luis. This is my first time ever reading a poem out loud. I've come to these shows a bunch of times, but I never really had the courage, I guess, to read it out. So I guess a little context of this poem I'm gonna read. I wrote it initially in Spanish because I'm Spanish first. That's the first language I spoke. I didn't learn English till I was about. I'm sorry, I'm still kind of like turned out I could see myself on the screen. New experience, but yeah, no, I didn't learn English till I was like 13, 14. Maybe you could tell, maybe you can't, but that's what it is. So I wrote a poem in Spanish. I translated it in English, and it went by pretty well, I think. I guess a little bit of context for the poem, because I feel maybe it's a little necessary. So during my teenage years, I got an early admission to Harvard, but because my father relapsed into drugs and basically my mom couldn't work because she's undocumented, I lived on the streets for a couple of years, and that kind of shattered the way. But I kind of found solace in going to like libraries and studying like philosophy, particularly like social political theory and metaphysics. And I I kind of like read like some like my writings I wrote down during that age when I was taking my poetry class for my bachelor's, and this is what came out of it. So hopefully that y'all this makes some sort of sense, but y'all can hear me right. I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah. So I'm reading Spanish first and then in English, so I guess it counts as two. So it's Velo de Gris, so es Poéticas de Etnografía. Bajo un cielo donde smog se posa abajo, susurros y toxicidad se funden en el brillo extraño. Calles sumidas, cautivas de progreso y dolor. Con cada aliento de humo, la historia se pierde su clamor. La ciudad donde la luz de las estrellas hiere el del vuelo, mientras ríos carmesí despiertan sirenas en celo. Gotas sobre nuestro rostro, obrero, los pulmones exhalan a pasar. Un alzaré un oasis, el legado comienza a torcer su andar. El ocaso danza atrapado en un ferreo gris sobre una urbe que lucha con lo que deja decir. Un paisaje velado de gracia y de plomo inmortaliza sus palabras en una bruma de pavor. So now I'm reading in English. It's Veil of Grey. It's a poetics of ethnography. Beneath a sky where the smog lays low, whispers and toxicity blend in a strange glow. Streets engulfed, enraptured by progress and pain. With every breath of fumes, lost history remains. The city where the stars' light pierced the shroud, yet crimson rivers incite sirens loud. Drops on the worker's face with lungs heave a sigh. With an within the oasis rise, legacy gone awry. The sunset dances throughout the gray's tight grip onto a city that struggles with what leaves its lips. A landscape cloaked in grace and lead, immortalize the words as a haze of dread. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what else to add, but yeah, that was what I had. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm gonna put you on the spot, just like I did.
Yeah, sure.
With Alicia. Let me see here. Oh my gosh, got all these buttons. So question. So from, you're writing it in class, or you're all these different things, and then you're there at the events. Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking. He's right over there. Everybody. No.
Yeah.
You're looking at the events. You're there. You're watching. How many times did you feel like, oh man, I want to get up there and do it, but then something was like, no, maybe I don't.
I think the biggest thing was I always felt the need to say something because before I even started my English degree, I went there because I wanted to be a better an author, and poetry was never something that came naturally to me. Like I found it really fascinating. I just didn't have that innate talent, or at least that's what I deemed myself. But then going to your shows, it made me realize little by little that it's not that it's the desire that's really what you need. And I kind of just doubted myself for a bit, but I came today, I spoke to you where it's I have a movie night at 8 I'm probably gonna be late to, but that's why it's I had to get it out there because I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't. So yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And so for everybody watching, and those who will watch in the future, and those who are here, that's basically the entire point of what the banner says over there with those cool ghosts with their cool hats, is that our voices are us, and that's our strength. And he read it in Spanish first and then English, and that's his language. That's who he is on the inside. That's his heart. That's his brain. That's his existence, his past and future and present. And all of us have the power and the talent, like Louis said, but it's our voice and it's your words. So just share them. Just do it. And if someone doesn't like it, too bad. That's on them. This is one of those, we can say from our earlier segment, this is one of those fuck you 2025 sections is hey, I'm going to say something, right? Ian, Ian's over here. He agrees with me. So if you get mad, it's on him over there. Nah, just kidding. But I hope that everybody in 2026, you join and you read and you speak and you share and you write, and you just write in a journal, text, email it to yourself. The whole point is getting it out of your brain, getting it out of your heart, because it festers and it rots and it turns into horrible things. But we can, and I think we said it in class, right? We can manipulate paper, we can tear paper, we can burn it, we can eat it, we can do whatever we want. We have that power. All right, up next in person is... There's only two of you. Ian! And so, quick thing about Ian is I didn't know he was going to be here today, and so my new poem I'm going to read later, I kind of threw his name in there, so we'll see. I don't know how that's going to go. All right, everybody, so please welcome Ian. Ian is awesome. He's been super helpful, and so there he is. I am going to turn myself off.
That was quite the build-up. Thank you. Look forward to hearing that poem later on. And I definitely resonate with what he was talking about, just because we came to the brewery maybe like a year ago now or something. That was my first time. And the first couple times I don't think I shared. And you felt that like anxiety building up. It was like sort of shaking legs, shaking hands. Like, do I want to share it today? I don't know. So yeah, just it's good to just get it out and not stress out about it. But so I'll do a few here. I think I always do a couple ones that I've read recently that I like from other, obviously, authors. And then I'll do a couple of my own. And this one is from Philip Larkin, who's probably one of my favorites, sort of all time. And this is just because I'm in my final year of my 30s now. I feel like those years are adding up and time is stressing me out more. This one is called I Have Started to Say. I have started to say a quarter of a century or 30 years back about my own life. It makes me breathless. It's like falling and recovering in huge gesturing loops through an empty sky. All that's left to happen is some deaths, my own included. Their order and their manner remain to be learnt. And then the one other one I was going to read is, I'm not super familiar with a lot of works from this. The author is Sun Yun Feng, and it's called Starting at Dawn. It just felt a little bit wintry, so. Under the waning moon in the dawn, a frosty bell, my horse's hooves tramp through the yellow leaves. As the sun rises, not a human being is visible, only the sound of a stream through the misty trees. I like just some of those little nature ones, but. All right, so I've got one that I read. I think I read this maybe like 3-4 months ago, but it is probably the only one that sort of skews wintry and maybe adjacent to holidays and Christmas and stuff. But this one was actually about a trip we took to Colorado to spend some very like intentional quality time with friends at a cabin. So it just feels like it's the most seasonal appropriate one. But sorry, Matt, I don't have a title for this one. I know he loves and is very strict about having titles. The next one does, though. All right, so the first one. A powder white suspended snow upon each branch of evergreen, the only hue in this dark night of blackness that surrounds in droves. And though this frigid midnight air slows this pen with which I write, a tranquil inspiration flows while ticking time is slowed and snared. The winter clings with all its might, snowflakes around my lantern glow, but in these cabin walls we've shared are kindred souls of warmth and light. We isolate and meet to sow new memories from which to gleam a greater bond than what is often found amongst our daily lived routines. So clear the snow, feed furnace flames, gaze the stars, drop timid chains. You'll never know what truly binds until you create this precious time. And then this one I have never read before, and I had it in the book for a while. I thought about it the last couple months, but I know it's not a final draft. But I don't really take myself too seriously, so I'm just like, fuck it, just read it. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna publish it or anything. So this one is called A Love Letter to the Little Free Libraries. In the courtyard of this garden stands a simple box with a door. Out of the way and unassuming, amongst these flowers barely blooming, not to be noticed unless one knew what they were searching for. Regardless it stands, as most pass without a look, unaware of its presence, the slowly chipping paint and rusty hinges are all that protects the worn bindings and dusty books. But once in a while, as a wandering soul will walk past, maybe the glare will catch their eye as the sun hits that pane of glass, or perhaps it's curiosity over that tarnished silver plaque. Either way, for those attuned, there's hidden treasures to be found, whether knowledge or perspectives, inspiration, unknown adventures, with characters and destinations far beyond these fragile pages. Shelves filled by those unseen and emptied again by nameless hands, identities kept and secrets shared amongst the lilac bees and plants. Those who will never even meet, able to impact and inspire another life and wayward neighbor seeking to ignite some unknown fire. So if you see one, grab a book, exchange ideas upon some paper, become a part of this garden story, each look a bridge to another stranger. That's it. Thank you. What you got for me?
I don't know. Now you put me on the spot. That's not fair. Is this how it feels? No, something that Ian reminded me of, or I get into a habit of, if someone says, "Oh, hey, I might show up to the event,"
That's my fault.
then I go, "Hey, you're gonna talk," and they're like, "Oh no, it's kind of funny." But the only reason is when I gave my first poetry show ever, I think it was, what was it, June 13th, 2013, or November. I think it was June. Anyways, I used to remember it. I think it's kind of a big deal. I don't even remember anymore, right? It used to be such a big moment. But I was shaking. Oh my gosh, it was terrible. It was horrible, but it felt, I think that was one of the most moments I've ever felt at empowerment. When people talk about empowerment, I'm like, that was the empowerment, because you can go out there and you can just say your words. And so Ian was someone I never met before. He was new. He said something, and I kind of got up there, and I'm like, "All right, Ian." And he was like, "Ugh," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, because I never wanted someone to feel, horrible because of me. And I'm like, "Ugh." But Ian has become someone who's been amazing and helpful, even though he wears his hat backwards. But Ian, if you could say,
Yeah.
in that moment, or for someone who you're talking to and they're like, "Oh man, how do you do it? I can't do it." What would you say to them?
I don't know. I mean, it just makes me think of an experience of like being young and having like a family member throw you into a pool or a cold body of water. Like I have a memory of someone doing that to me, like at a campground, like in a lake it was way too cold. I didn't want to go in, but it's like a standout memory, and it was awful in the moment, but then it was like a great memory. So I think it's just get the anxiety and stress out. I think the only issue is like when you're coming to give a piece of yourself and a soul and like your soul in a piece. Obviously there's more lighthearted pieces, then there's more serious stuff. I think I came initially with some poems about like losing, both someone and a pet precious to me. It was tough to like, is this the right time? Is this the right emotion? Is that piece that just happened appropriate for me to bring it down right now? So that was the only thing I was stressed about. So maybe it's just like having a little bit of variety and options to match the tone of whatever's happening. But that's all I'd say. Thanks for the question.
Totally, thank you. I think too, this is something that I think a lot of people, when they're in these spaces, someone will say something and then, let's go like this. You prepare, you write, you spend however long, you get your heart onto the piece of paper. You're like, okay, I think it's solid. I think it's good enough. And you're waiting to go up and hit the mic, and then someone else reads something, and what's the first thought in your head? Oh, fuck, mine sucks. This is terrible. And I don't have any advice for that, but the way I handle it is I prepared my piece. I felt comfortable with mine, with my words. It's who I am. It's what I stand for. It's where I'm going. It's where I've been. I'm going to read it. And it's tough because sometimes you have something that's like super depressing and someone's out there and they read a love poem. Like they just got married. Everything's amazing. The world is there. They're like, oh my God, I've never been happier in my life. And the audience, they're feeling it. They're remembering. They're all their happy moments. And then you go up there and you're like, I'm sad. But guess what? That's still fine because it's you. And you're up there and you're expressing yourself and sharing your words and your story. And that's fine. That's totally fine. So if anyone's out there and you're worried about, bringing down the house. Guess what? Bring down the house. That's why we're here. All right, we're going to move back to our virtual world, which coincidentally inspires me and reminds me to share a little bit about our virtual world. And so everybody stay connected with us on all our virtual platforms, because that's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to do all the liking and subscribing and things, but I don't even do the liking and subscribing. I think I subscribe to one person because he's my friend, and every time I see the notification, I'm like, oh my God, guy. And it's like every like 3 months even. I'm like, geez, how do people do this? But anyway, follow us, do all the cool things. We are a 501c3, so if you know someone with $1 million, donate, and you could pay less taxes. I don't actually know how it works. I should probably learn more about it, but my focus is the art, and always the art, and one day it'll be the other aspect, but art. Join us, follow us, do all those fun things. And so this next person is another person that I've never met before in my life, but has been part of our open mics, part of our events, part of our extended community, and I'm excited to hear what they have to say. I'm excited to see them. I haven't seen them in a while. So everybody, please welcome Linda Raven Woods.
Thank you. So I only prepared one piece to read for tonight, but I figured that one would be enough because it's kind of a longer poem. But it was a poem that was recently accepted for the waiting room, so I thought it would be appropriate to read tonight. So I guess just a little bit of context about this poem. I've been working on my PhD, my doctorate, for a while now at MTSU in Tennessee, but I live in Alabama. So when I drive up to my classes, it's a 2-hour drive up there and it's a 2-hour drive back, often making that drive very late at night sometimes. And one night I was in class and I was leaving class, and just a few hours after I left class that night, there was a young man who took his life on campus. And that's what inspired the poem. So I'm going to pull it up here. It's called Poem for Cade. No one knows how empty a soul might be, or how quick in an instant one might cross another's. October 31st, All Hallows Eve, dead leaves scatter across the campus pavement. Some students in homemade ghost outfits, the kind that's just a hole with, just a sheet with holes cut out, walk single file like KKK soldiers. It sucks to be in class on a Halloween night, but it's not the holiday, which means nothing to me at my age. No, it's the drive. The endless driving on a ghost highway that I know will be filled tonight with wind, rain, truckers with glaring LED lights that blind in the fog. And then there is you, Cade, who I haven't met and never will. I'm sorry. And then there is you, Cade, who I haven't met and will never know until the next day's news. But at 9 p.m., as I was walking out of class, you were clocking in. Just a contract worker, the headlines will read. 9 p.m., I walk across the very spot they will find you in, a pool of blood, a gun beneath you. But at 9 p.m., the spot is clean, nothing to see yet. All is sterile and quiet. I step on the elevator, press down. I don't see you. I don't hear your desperate beating, lonely heart, the one that must be somewhere inside this night crying out. Or maybe not. Maybe you just clock in, go about your nightly duties, swab the floors, gather the trash, mechanical as clockwork, your mind already settled. But why tonight in particular? Did some warped sense of humor make you appreciate the idea of turning into a ghost on the night everybody longs to be one, if only for a little while? 6 hours separate us, you and I, on this spot, this empty, clean threshold. I press down before you can press up, and that's just the way it goes. I drive a ghost highway tonight. I fight the wind and rain, but I'll live to get home. I guess you were just trying to get home too, in the way that made sense for you. For days afterward, you have no name. You are an incident at Peck Hall. Everyone assured you are not a student, not faculty, not a threat to the safety of others, just yourself. Just is the word that dominates every headline. Just a contract worker. Just. Days later, I unearth your obituary, small and buried, I'm sorry. But it's enough. Your name was Cade. You were 36, born in Mississippi, but spent most of your life in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Came from a broken home. You loved music, loved to play it. There is a photo of you, 18, chubby squirrel cheeks, posed beside a giant mounted Gibson guitar, a classic Sunburst model. You pluck the strings like you're actually going to play the thing, gazing to the sky like Icarus. Behind you, just visible over your shoulder, is Peck Hall, the building where you will die. Somebody loved you in that moment, once, enough to take the picture at least. You must have loved yourself once, enough to look to that sky. I'll never figure why some paths cross, some intersect, some never, but then there is the almost, not quite. The category we fell into that night. When I walked across the campus, Peck Hall, illuminated but empty behind me, leaves and remnants of students scattering to happier, warmer places. I didn't know there was just us left, the two of us in our almost collided paths, falling into the chiaroscuro of night, the notes of separateness. And that is it. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you. So, you know what's really cool, and I don't know if you don't know this, but so the way that I have our reading and review process is I don't read anything until they are accepted, because we have our team of reviewers, and then it's a blind read. That way, I can't say, "Oh my gosh, Linda Raven, she's awesome and she's my friend," and then Ian goes, "I guess we have to choose," or it's. But so it was really cool for the first time to hear it from the author who wrote it, and I wrote in my notes. I'm like, this is freaking awesome. And so, Linda, thank you. And I think for a lot of readers out there and writers out there, sometimes get out there and read the work, because for the audience, it's a different experience to hear it from the person who wrote it, and the cadence and the tone and the inflection and the way and the where they're from, the accents that they have and the voice that they have. It's just so awesome. And so thank you. So one question I have for you is, when you're writing, do you ever, let's say you're writing a couple of stanzas or pages or whatever it is, and the words are moving across the line, and then you stop yourself because you know what's going to happen next. You know the words that are going to come out. You can feel it. Do you stop yourself? Do you keep going? Or do you sometimes just, hey, it happens when it happens?
It really depends on situation, and it depends on the piece that I'm working on. So I don't have a one size fits all answer for that, because it really will vary.
Cool. I think, yeah. I would say, I think if someone asked, I would say the same thing, because sometimes I'm there and it just goes, and sometimes I'm like, no, not today. You were trying to get me, right? But all right, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you, Linda. Go ahead.
sometimes,
No, go ahead.
sometimes I'll have one piece that takes me 2 or 3 years to write, and then sometimes one will just fly out of my head and be ready to publish, as soon as it hits the page. Just never know.
It just happens, right? Do you ever feel more connected to the ones that take longer, or are you just excited that they're finally done?
I probably feel a little more connected to the ones that take some time, because I spend more time with those, and they kind of grow and evolve with me over time.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. If you have anything else after our next performer, you could always come back and read some more. We'll be here for a while. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see. There we go. So if you're, oh wait, I turned myself off. So if you're watching on YouTube and you see the cool screen we have, if you are a camera person or a lighting person, which I know a lighting person, and they need to, this is me directly talking to this individual who is a lighting person. I'm trying to think of a cool way to have like a spotlight that's on the ceiling so it doesn't impact the people who are sitting down. But I think a lighting system would be awesome, because then we could turn off. So we have 6 lights on the ceiling, and they're really bright if you turn them all on. But if you turn them all off, it's really dark. And then I have these really cool ghost lights on the wall that have this cool ambiance thing going. So I was thinking it'd be really neat. It'll be like a dive bar, cafe type of thing. All the lights are off but a couple, and then just one spotlight on the stage. And so the individual who is a lighting individual, you know who you are. So, make it happen. We could cut all the holes in the ceiling as we want. But I think that would be really cool, and it'll give us an opportunity to have more, I don't know, just like more stuff, like a better vibe. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking anyways. But so far, the people that are here, and I'm always stressed out about these events until they begin. And I don't know if anybody is, if you host events, you're always stressed out. It's just how it is, I guess. But I always know that through the event, when there's a guest MC and it's really awesome, and I get to just kind of relax here, when I'm the MC and I have to talk after every person, and it's stressful, and it's very anxious, and my childhood comes back and I freak out, and then I have to kind of bury it, with all the things that we do. But I know that it's going to be great, because there are people here and they're engaging in art. If there was one person online and one person in person and me, it would be just as fantastic as if there were 12 people online and 12 people in here and 15 people in here, because the purpose is us getting our voices out. And when we were in person for the first time, this next individual showed up, and we were like, who is this? Some strange kid is going to show up, and get out of here. But she has been awesome and supportive, and her mom is great, and their friends are great, except for the one friend that doesn't show up anymore because they're always too busy for us. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody has been fantastic, and they've become a part of our arts family, our arts community. And so please, 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 please give a warm welcome to Emery, and give us a second so I can get the other microphone over there. Oh no, Ian's here. Ian can do it. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I was preparing because I thought Ian wasn't going to be here. But anyways, please welcome Emery. All right, let me know when you're
Hi. Okay. Hi guys, my name's Emery. Today I shall be performing a song that I made for somebody. Um, yeah. Have you ever like had one of those type of like feelings where you just feel like, oh, like you just see the guy or the girl just like once and you're just like, I like them. This is like the one. But let's just say it didn't go like that. Just like a little, it was just the feeling process. But yeah. Anyway, a song came out of it, so yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This is called Jonathan's Song. Got to let go. I don't know how I feel. Never felt like this much, feeling all stuck. And I go over and over and over again. You came as you left, things I wish, thoughts I wish I never had in my head. A look, a sigh, a breath, a smile, a talent in life. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry.
Do we have to kill some time before Matt gets back now? All right. So yeah, thank you so much for doing that, Emery. It's always awesome to have like that musical component whenever we do an open mic, and you usually bring it. And other times I can't think of any other. We have a couple rappers, but we don't have really acoustic guitarists or anything or singers. There was a couple times back at the brewery, I think. But it's just we're always impressed, and every time I love when there's new people here to hear you as well, because I know that everybody's going to be captivated by your voice. And you've talked about your influences before. I love the influences as well. So, yeah. Did Hey, Matt, look, I'm filling in for you real quickly. Thank you for coming back because I don't know what to talk about. But it was very cool hearing one of those poems as well that was submitted. I also want to echo Matt's thoughts on that. Just to put a face to the words was great. So take over, Matt.
Thank you, Ian. You know, as soon as I walked out the door, I was like, Emery, take longer. So Emery, I know you walked away, but a question, and we haven't spoken about this, but the last healing event we had was awesome. And now that we have a TV and the camera system and whatnot, what are your plans for future ones?
Wait, what?
Future healing. Remember the event we had?
Oh yeah, my organization.
Yeah.
The
Talk about it.
The funny thing is that it's happening tomorrow, and oh my god. I have an organization called Healing Through Art. And it's just based on just healing through different art pieces. And what do I plan on the future for it? Yeah, so what I plan on the future is to just I hope that it just reaches people and touches people, as well as I feel like Nervous Ghost Pressed has done that for me, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been stressing recently because of school, finals, growing up. So yeah, next year I'm gonna be an adult, so I'm just like, oh my god, all these things, college, oh god. But I feel like this place helped me relieve emotions, and I hope that so can my organization. And so thank you.
Thank you. So Emery, take a look around this room. This is what adulting is. This is it.
This is an escape from adulting.
Thank you, Emery. All right, so I think that's everybody we have that's signed up. Does anybody who is here or online that hasn't read want to sign up? I feel like you're lying over there. Oh, you do for reals? Oh, awesome. All right, so our next... Do you want me to introduce her or just say Jasmine? All right, so our next speaker, this is cool. So a couple of my classmates came today to paint and support, and one of them is going to read, which I didn't know was going to happen, but this is awesome. So please, everybody, welcome Jasmine.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, I don't even know what I want to read. But I love to write poetry. I've been writing poetry since I was maybe 11 years old. And I think it's one of my first loves is creative writing. I like to write in experimental verse, which is poetry, but in experimental form. So let me see what I have. I might kind of start with a short one. This is one. Okay, this first piece is Virginia. My ancestors were the first Black people to set foot in Virginia. My people were slaves, are slaves. I hold their chains. They rattle around in my brain, my consciousness, beholden, intuition, but restriction. Even more restriction, signing an X because I do not know my true name. Your name, who you were. Who were you? How did you see to see it through? I can feel you. I want to know you, but you are so far away and erased. I miss a lineage, a personhood, a people that I have never known, but in my gut, you are a flood. I miss you. Your eternity exists within me. I will not let it go. But I do not know how to fully hold on without suffocating myself. I will find it and write it. 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 Like you never could. You were not taught how to write or how to read or how to create things for yourself that could be kept. But you are fully human, blooming, a shoo-in. You are not dead, not in this lifetime. I am a writer. I am you. I was created to birth you once more. You are not gone yet. Come see me at the altar. Do not let me let go. I will keep you safe in my body. And there's one I was thinking of reading. I've never read this one out loud before, but it's one of my favorites, which is more just about my experience. I'm a biracial Black woman, so my mom is white, my dad is Black. And I guess I'll let the story speak for itself. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I found it. Okay. This one is called Skinned Thanksgiving. After the age of 5, once my parents lost our house, I only saw my white family members at Thanksgiving dinner. My mother has 3 brothers from a different white father, with sanitized faces, still smiles, blonde hair, and blue eyes. They would watch us walk in the door on our arrival. Once every year or two, we drove ourselves to a land where we did not belong, Encinitas, California. My mother's stepdad's house is worth more money than I will make in my entire lifetime. It overlooks the ocean. The windows were large, and the wind was blowing in the salty air. Things were so fresh, and yet I felt trapped there. My dad always walked in the front door last, looking behind him, making sure that he was not being watched down the cul-de-sac. They would move in slow motion when we walked in the door, as if the air was physically changing for them, as if they were preparing themselves to be chess pieces in the environmental strangeness. I wonder if they were afraid like I was. They smiled. I smiled back as if my life depended on it. My face hurt. Everything hurt. I felt a lingering awareness that I did not belong there. My mother was trying to force her biracial Black children into the world of her bleak, white, right-winged family. She was pushing, shoving, telling me that love always wins. She was trying to rewrite history. She was trying to smile and forget. She forced me to smile and forget while facing them. She was shoving our faces on the canvas of existential destruction, hoping for a better outcome and sacrificing us in the eyes of white affluence. She was ignoring their awkward bodies and their wandering eyes while they tried to make conversation with my Black father. It was as if they had never spoken to a Black person before. They probably did not speak to Black people regularly. I cannot think of one Black person that could afford to live in that neighborhood. They owned the kind of land that could never be inherited without genocide, suffering, and stepping on bodies. That was the type of land that was stolen from my ancestors and definitely from Native Americans. The Native Americans who are forgotten as Thanksgiving is celebrated again, as more bodies are cursed and the history of white supremacist genocide gets buried deeper and deeper into the dirt, as we dance on the dirt, cursing Native ceremony, our faces bloody. Whenever I saw my white family, it was as if we were not even related. It was like there was nothing in our bones, in our bodies, that destined us for the same fate and desired the same outcome. This was not coming home. This house was a threat to my body. This is fear. This is the inability to assimilate. How interesting is it that they are my blood? They are so genetically close to me, and yet they are in every way disconnected from my experience. It is like I do not exist at all. Worse, they do not want me to exist. I threaten their privilege. The strangeness. How could we ever be connected? This is not home. Y'all are not kin. Every year that we went to Thanksgiving dinner, I felt like we started all over again. Displacement. Painful, gruesome, smile, locked jaw, dry eyes. It was like I was erased every year in their eyes, like they were trying to use their white imagination to actually erase me, hoping that maybe, one day, I would not come back to force them to face this unbearable racial tension. European blood, but black and bulky. They did not want to think about the meaning. Silence. Think about how their untouched whiteness was now cursed, coming back from the plantation all of those years ago to show up at their doorstep. My mother did not want to think about the permanent consequences of having black children, to contend with the ghosts. I was their curse. I was a statement of some vein of truth. My body was a statement of something so strange, so awkward, it stood unmoved, biracial black body, bloody black body, facing enemy. It is ironic that we are here to gather about the things we are thankful for. I was told that my mixedness would save me, protect me. That was a lie. We never talked about it. I just found somewhere to sit every year, stare at a wall blankly, and disassociate. How to survive in a black body. How to be a black femme. Disassociate, hide fear, imitate. Being a nuisance to myself, and painfully feeling every bone that is forcing me to be, knowing, uncomfortably aware that I will never belong here. Before you skin me, I might end up skinning myself.
Thank you. Wait, I got a question. I've been asking everybody a question. So thank you. First of all, that was awesome. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
My question is about audience. And so I know sometimes we have our intended audience, and then by virtue of an intended audience, we have our unintended audience. When you're writing, are you thinking of a listener?
A listener. I think I'm always thinking of a listener because I'm like, and I think even in the writing, like I'm hyper aware of how I'm perceived. So I'm always thinking of how it might be perceived by anyone, like a person that's not familiar with the context of like being in the Black community. And I think like even just the context of being biracial as well, because it's a big conversation, like even amongst Black people, it's like who is actually Black. And I think that like made me confused as a kid because I knew I was experiencing racism, but then like my dad would say I wasn't experiencing racial harm and he's Black, he's like darker skinned than me. And then my mom would say, well, you know, she'd always talk about love and like love overcomes everything. And that wasn't my experience. So yeah, I don't know if I was thinking of anyone in specific. I think I wanted to portray that feeling. And I think some other people, you know, can maybe relate to that. So that's what I was looking to express there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we should chat at some point because I have a whole bunch of like being mixed things that I've only started in my probably in the last like 5 years really started to articulate it. But on YouTube, someone said, I have a question. The last line about skinning. For you, what does skinning look like on an emotional day, on a good day?
On a what now?
On an emotional day and on a good day.
Skinning. I think that's more, it was particular to that time because my white family too, like they're literally Scandinavian, like blonde hair, blue eyes, white. So it was a stark contrast that I think, and they're also very affluent. They have a lot of money. They have generational wealth. So I think it was a lot of those elements that made me even more so like I'm all these wrong things in their eyes. Like the list kind of goes on and on and on. Not just because I'm Black or because I'm a girl or, you know, because my family like didn't have money, like we're low income, poor. But skinning on a good day. Like now, I used to be so embarrassed that my skin would get dark in the summer that like if I'm in the sun, like I can become like 3 or 4 shades darker. And now I embrace that. I'm like, it's summertime and like my skin loves it. And like, I'm going to go and sit out in the sun, And on a bad day, I guess it's like just reflecting on, I guess, how that makes me have a perception of myself and trying to break out of that, if that's possible, which I think it is,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So those who have already read, you can read again, and I know a couple of you will read again. But before you read again, I'm going to read my new poem because Ian is here, and I want him to hear it before he leaves. It's funny. There's only like a line that has his name in it. It's not even about him. But I texted him when I wrote it, and I was like, dude, I totally name dropped you in my poem. And so it kind of became that thing. The story behind this poem, at least the title anyways, Ian says I like titles, and I really do like titles. And I was talking to one of my friends, and we were disagreeing about something. And, we're old, and so we don't hate each other on our disagreements. But I said, I'm like, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm like, dude, I'm going to fuck you up, dude. I'm like, I'm going to kick your ass. And then the whole question was like, hey, you know what? But after we fight each other, we're going to end up bloody at the bar. And so this poem is called Bloody at the Bar. My fucking thumb hurts. But not even from doing cool shit. From writing papers. Picking up whiskey bottles is painless. Popping corks, pour another one. It whispers back and forth. It's been 2 months. Okay, 24 days. It's cool, though. The doctor knows nothing. At least besides cupping your balls, can I cough some more? Your hands are warm. What the fuck was that? Where's this going? Zach's a dad now. And that's awesome. That fucking kid of his is going to be one tall-ass motherfucker. But imagine if he was a short. Holy shit, that would be awesome. But for reals, life comes at you. These classmates make me feel old and gray. I ain't even had a gray hair yet. Well, sometimes I see one in my nose and I yank that shit out. Does it hurt? Of course it does. I'm ripping off a part of myself like the last time. They don't make razors like they used to. Nothing's built to last no more, all based on algorithmic nonsense. Can't say suicide because the people are more scared of losing contracts than burying their friends. Just fucking say it. He killed himself, hung himself in that damn hotel. We're not supposed to talk about it, but bro, I think my brain needs to. And she did too, but there's silence. Well, of course there is. But why? And no one knows, and no one asks, and it festers fucking furiously until finally it stops. Well, do something. It doesn't work no more. Pour some more. Until I stumble, find the floor, and it's still warm from sitting on it. When the clock struck, open the door and let me in. Sorry to wake you up again. It isn't me. It's not the reasons. Things are awful. I hope that's true. His lips were blue skin like icicles. I'd give anything for one more chat. One more. Fuck you, Matt. You fucking piece of shit. I swear to God, if I had anything, I'd give it up. I'd give it all, no matter how much fucking cool shit is created from these hands. Ian hates rhyming, and that's why I ain't never seen a band with him. Just kidding. I'm still too scared to do all that, but the raves, oh, buddy, you ain't never seen nothing quite like it. What these feet can do, oh my God, it's like an entirely different person. But it's a prison. And the only key is whisked and chilled and cool. Friends are hard to come by. So stop lying when they talk to you. Stop ignoring them when they say hello and start initiating a call or two. Best friends are hard to keep and even harder at times to lose. But that stupid fucking joke you just had to say is the noose. Tie it slowly. You ain't going nowhere. Dig that hole and keep on digging. Scream until your lungs bleed and still ain't no one will listen. Let's go back. A little slower. The backache must mean something. No matter all the cool shit, there will always be something missing. And the ghosts we lost, we thought were just complaining at the end. It wasn't it. It wasn't something. It was something more. Something we can't forget, and now they're dead. And we hope the times we laugh are not in jest of the lives they left behind. We couldn't save them, but tried our best. One for the homies who never saved, one for the good times, a cheer and toast, a celebration for the ones we're all convinced we'd miss the most, but end up lost and cold while wondering to find our way back home. This whiskey's sour. Yeah, you ordered it. You said you'd never drink alone. And so that was Bloody at the Bar. I've never been bloody at a bar. I've almost been bloody now. Oh my gosh, there's a story. I was making tacos at a bar right after my brother died, and this dude, he got in my face about something, and I was sober at the time, which is what makes it scary, because I was sober and I have all my cooking equipment, which means my gigantic chef's knife, and this guy's in my face, and I'm getting in his face, and it's just weird. And then Nick is my twin. He steps in front of us and calms it down. But I was like, what? What was that? It was crazy. But anyways, so one big reason, and I'm so happy that we're here and the people are painting and they're doing cool stuff. And when we're finished reading, Ian is gonna turn the camera, because we can't turn it yet, otherwise it moves. And I need a cool camera system. So if anyone out there is a camera person and you know how to push a button and make the camera turn, that would be awesome. But then it has to turn back. And we'll show the artwork. And one day I want to have a community created art gallery of all the paintings that have been made in here. And then we'll have a cool day, sell them, raffle them off. I think that'd be fantastic. But so I know one person wants to go again. Does anybody else want to go again? Put it in the chat box, or text me, or tell me here. But for the next person, read another poem if you want to. Alicia.
Got two more. First one was about the ex. That was just it's called Cost of You. Laughable intimacy, non-existent orgasms, faked arousal, frigid affection, sacrificed needs, abandoned creativity, split dinners, wasted travel, emotional manipulation, drained energy, neglected family and friends, existing as a hidden secret. You are a valueless expense I can no longer afford. Account closed. Next one was I've been writing love poems lately just to prove that I could do it. I figure since I don't have any romance in my life, I can at least have it in my poetry. This one is called Gravity and Glow. In a twilight made of stardust, you are wrapped in my arms, as if gravity was invented so we could touch. Galaxies blush as the heavens applaud, two souls finally on the same frequency. Our kiss is soft, but carries the weight of planets. You claim the curve of my waist. I lay my devotion across your chest. In our warm space, the universe opens like a secret only we are meant to code. In this suspended moment, our silhouettes are glowing constellations that have learned how to breathe. We are celestial certainty. Our love is not found but recognized. In the moment, two stars chose to radiate as one. Thank you.
Thank you.
I could read later if there's time.
There is always time.
Okay.
And not just because there's time,
Yeah.
but because, I create the time.
Yes.
All right, up next is reading a couple more, or just one more, I'm not entirely sure. Linda Raven Woods.
Okay, yeah. I was only prepared to read one, but then I was like, I'll dig up this other one here. So this is a poem called Icarus Boy. It's a poem I wrote for Alan Collins. And Alan Collins, for anyone who doesn't know, well, if you know anything about music, you probably have heard the name Leonard Skinner.
Mhm.
Alan Collins was the lead guitarist for the band Leonard Skinner. And of course, most of Leonard Skinner died in a plane crash in 1977, but Alan was one of the few survivors of the plane crash, only to become a quadriplegic when he was in a drunk driving accident some years after that. And then, of course, he suffered horrible health for the rest of his short life after that. But beyond that, I'm going to let the poem do the talking. Well, here I am, 37, already 10 years too late for the 27 club, but damn it, 37 is still too young to be crippled, limbs that burn like fire, and lungs smothered with this pneumonia, crushed like the weight beneath the ocean. My wings, that is, the ones that were my hands. Do you remember how there was that one moment, roughly about 6:50 into Freebird, when I take off, sail like Icarus too close to the sun? I still don't understand why I'm here, 37, crippled and drowning, but then I was supposed to have died when I was 25. The night we went down and my friends went up in flames, that was supposed to have been me, a mangled corpse on the swamp floor, diesel fumes, broken bones, broken limbs, everything broken. They tried to take my arm, but Dad wouldn't let them. Said, you take that arm, he might as well be dead, like the others, like them. And then 2 years later, I count them off. Kathy, dead. Our kid, dead. Girlfriend, dead. They try to lock me away, pin that one on me too. My legs, dead. My lungs, dead. My songs, dead. My smile, dead. My laugh, dead. I drink and can't get drunk enough. I medicate, procrastinate, pontificate. I went down but didn't die. And death don't forgive easy them that cheats him, he says. He's trailed me ever since, dogged as my own shadow. Oh, don't think for a minute what I wouldn't give. Another moment leaping high on that stage, my hair lit like auburn fire, the girls flashing because it's the 70s and we're free that way, and the fingers that pierce the sky, my fingers and my hands that are my wings, and the crowd chanting, there he goes again, Icarus boy, off on a riff, he who flies too high. Well, there was that lesson about gravity in high school, but I never spent much time there, and I never was much good at book learning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Linda Ravenwood, and thank you to Alicia for joining us. And I hope that we see you in January and then February and March.
You'll see me in February.
Good. You said it and it's recorded, just saying.
Oh, yeah. I'll be here in February.
All right, so thank you everybody for joining us online. Thank you for watching in the future. Thank you for being here in person. Those of us who are here in person, we're going to keep painting. We're going to have more hot chocolate because I bought a whole bunch of it, and we're going to drink it. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, and I'll never do it again. And I'm stubborn. Our next event is January 31st. That is the final Saturday of January, and then every last Saturday, of course, moving forward. I'm hoping at some point to implement an in-between event. It'll be smaller, I think a little bit shorter. I haven't quite decided yet, but it's more for me to really kind of solidify how these buttons work, because I swear every Saturday morning I have to show up here and figure out how everything works, and I get stressed out and I don't like it. So if I have more events, that's a good excuse to get more people in here, right?
Right.
But thank you for joining us. This is our last arts night of the year. Our final event of the year is next Friday. It'll also be live streamed. It is promoting my friend Jimmy Vega's book, Zirconium Ash. So make sure you show up, tune in live. I'll send an email out. It'll be on all our social medias. You could, of course, email or text me. I hope that everybody is happy. I hope you are healthy. I hope you are warm when it's cold and cold when it's hot. And in the case of myself, I hope you're cold when it's cold. Because I need the cold. Ask Ian. He's over there freezing. But I told him all he has to do, the cure for today anyway, not previous events, but the cure today, Ian, is to go have another hot chocolate. That's why it's there. Oh yeah. Okay. So wait, hold on. It's one. All right. So Ian is gonna turn the camera over or hold them and show all the cool paintings. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Ooh, look at that. Turn your paintings around. Awesome. Those are so cool. All right. So at some point in the future, wait, I'm not in this one. At some point in the future, all those paintings are going to be worth like $1 million. And I'm going to be like, hey, whoa. You don't get that $1 million until you come up here and read a poem. That is the price. Thank you, Ian. And thank you, everybody, for joining us again. The next one is January 31st. If you have any Fuck You 2025 messages, send them, text them, scream them into the universe. Also, for every singular Fuck You 25 message, there is a Thank You 2025 message. For all the good times, all the things we take for granted, all the friends we've made, all the poems we've written, all the tears we've shared, everything, the food we've had, the barbecues we've had, the toes we did not stub. We are grateful for all of it. I hope you all have a fantastic break. Those of you who are in school, I will be celebrating Christmas with the little new nephew and Zach's new baby. It's his first Christmas. So I've been buying him all these presents that he's never going to remember, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then when he's older and he's kind of like, he's mean, I'll be like, hey, dude, go get me a beer. And he's like, I don't want to get you a beer. And I'm going to be like, I taught you your ABCs. I think the least you can do is get me a beer. Anyway, follow us, subscribe, all that cool stuff. We will see you next time. Thank you for being here, and have a happy, happy new year.